Yeah, we can be closer. Yeah.
You know, portion with the seats up.
Thank you. So yeah, I just have a couple questions, but this is open for the audience as well. So maybe I'll just ask one and then see if we have some from the audience, and then I have a couple, just in case. Yeah, this is such a beautiful, beautiful animated film. Thank you so much for sharing it with us. It's a really beautiful depiction of a family navigating with their son with ectrodactyly, who is in search of their calling, in search of their self-expression, creative expression, in a world that has narrow views about what is considered ability. And we know how important representation is, and the lack thereof of these depictions in film and media. What inspired you to tell this particular story?
I was approached by the co-writer and the EP of this project who had seen my first film, and he found me on LinkedIn and was like, hey, I want to make a movie. I was like, okay. A lot of people tell me that all the time. Yeah, like, sure.
Can you go grab some milk at the store?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. But we ended up going to meet for Boba, and he was like, this is the story that I have. And I just kind of connected with it right away because I saw it as very much a universal story. Like, it was focusing on disability, which is not really shown that much, especially in children's media and especially in animation because it's just harder to draw. But I was attracted because of that, but then just the story of someone that was trying to reach something and people that are really not trying to stop you, they're just trying to protect you, but in such a way that it's really like not allowing you to have failure or to have success, whatever you may land in. And so I was like, yeah, I could do this. And he was like, oh, by the way, like, I already have all the money. I said, great, let's make it then. So we kind of went forth and met. We only met in person the one time. And then I was like, okay, get my team together, and then we started making a movie.
And how long was the start to finish, let's say, okay, I guess it took them time to write the script, but once the script was ready, they contacted you. How long did it take to complete this beautiful film?
We had some production challenges.
Oh my gosh, please share.
Some life.
We love the drama.
Yeah, we had a lot of animation challenges on this, particularly because I had one animation directly drop out, and then the other one had a lot of life challenges, and then I also had life challenges. I don't know why, but so many people's like close relatives passed away during the making of this film, which made it difficult to complete. So if that hadn't happened, I think it would have been a lot shorter, but it ended up taking probably like 18 months, maybe 16 months to make it, which was significantly longer than my first film, but it was fine because everything that went right on my first film went wrong on this film. So I feel like I covered my knowledge gap of like, okay, I knew how to do all those things now, and all those things that I didn't have to do the last time, I had to do this time, like drawing. So yeah.
Wow, okay, so, and you know, I think, we have filmmakers in the audience with us. I think we can all relate to this sort of unexpected challenges and the expected unexpected, and then beyond that, the life stuff.
Yeah.
When you say that you did everything right for your first film, can you share a little bit about what that first film was and what that process was?
I wouldn't say I did everything right.
Oh,
that's not what I said.
So everyone's got this on tape, so
I didn't say I did everything right. I just meant the things that went correct on my first film that were really easy for us, like animation, like cleanup, like finding character style, like all of that in my first film was just like, boom, we flew. We had issues with other areas, but we didn't have a problem with that. And that's all the stuff that went well the first time. I was like, oh, I know how to do that. That just went perfectly the time, and I had to kind of figure out it, but it helped me problem solve and kind of spread myself into all different areas. And I feel like, okay, if we lose this person, if we lose a music person, if we lose this, like I know that I can cover that area until I find a person, and I can support people in those areas better as a director. So it kind of helped me.
Yeah, it's through the challenges, especially within production, to kind of gain those skills of pivoting and So that's amazing. And for you, has it always been animation, directing animated films?
That's all I've made. But writing wise, I actually work a lot in video games. I don't do any of the animation directing there, but I do a lot of writing for video games. And then I also have done writing for animation. But yeah, I just always felt like I really like family stories. I like stories of empathy, coming of age stories, friendship stories, and stories that appeal to like kids and families. And animation has always been the medium that I felt to express that, especially since my stuff sometimes leads towards fantastical things or things that you could, I guess you could, but would be more difficult to pull off with live action.
No, I know what you mean. I feel this way sometimes about theater. I started in theater and I was like, well, you can sort of get away with low budget and some sort of like whimsical, like, but then in film it's like it better actually look real, you know? But in animation you can kind of get away with that too in many ways. And I wouldn't consider myself like I'm not always rushing to the theaters to see like a Disney movie, but I have 2 nephews and because of them I've seen a lot of films and sometimes they are the most impactful films I've ever seen. They make me cry, and so I think animated films are really, really powerful, and they're universal. They can touch different generations all at the same time.
Yeah. I think that's what I like, being able to speak to, you know, a 3-year-old, and then also like a 20-year-old, a 60-year-old. Like everybody kind of gets it at different levels. I would say this film, like following the plot of it, is probably more difficult than a 3-year-old than my last one was, but you know. There's an accessibility there.
Yeah, definitely, and they, if anything, seeing themselves on the screen, that's at any age, is impactful.
Yeah.
Does anyone, I have a few more questions, but not just to make this like, be like, we're having coffee together. Does anyone have any questions here? Yes. Oh, wait.
No, actually, we're.
No? Okay.
I have, it's much more of a comment than a question. I love that. Completely marginal, because it represented 2 parents who were trying to help him find his niche, and it wasn't even a thing that he was in. You could see the look in their eyes, the expression. It was just wonderful. I thought it was just so real. I could feel the expressions and the emotions that were displayed faces, you know, I mean, I thought that was just so well done. But more importantly, I didn't get that he wasn't, that the child was handicapped until later. And I thought that was genius. Because I have 2 children of my own, and I let them try a lot of different things before they settled on what they wanted to do. And that's exactly what his parents did. And so I just thought it was great. He was a great film. All of us, that we, you know, everyone has capabilities, handicap or not, that everyone's a star in something, and to have parents that help them figure out their niches is
Thank you. But also, everyone, my parent here is supporting me, so you can give a clap for my mom. The uncredited producer, you know. Woo!
Yes, I was just going to say I'm gonna go around with the mic. Actually, we usually have I don't even know how we did this last time. It was commenting on just how brilliantly done and to display the family navigating and supporting the child, and that she stated that she didn't realize that the child had a disability until very much later, and that was really well done. Was that on purpose?
We kind of went back and forth on that, and I found that people that realized it earlier had an impression, but people who realized it later had a different impression, but neither of them were like wrong, and I think the message of the story still shined through, and it's also expensive and predictably difficult to redo animation, so we were like, let's just go with this. Let's make it work. So yeah.
I'm really interested too, and maybe this is a question for the screenwriter, but maybe you can have insight.
I mean, I co-wrote it.
Co-wrote it, yeah. The depiction of the father, you're immediately on his side because you know that it's coming from a place of protection, coming from a place of love, but he's also getting in his son's way.
Yeah.
why did you choose to have this be sort of the direct conflict as opposed to having it be kids in school saying that he can't, or his coaches saying that he can't? It's his own father, but also not having him be depicted as a villain. It was very complex and really well done.
Not to like over talk about my mom, but I have pretty good parents, and I recognize in TV and in media a lot of times that's not the case. It's like, oh my gosh, you gotta go back for Christmas, and that's the whole plot of the movie, dealing with the mother or the father or whatever. And I think that not all families are like that, but that doesn't mean that struggle doesn't exist, and especially if you're thrust into a new situation with something that you don't know how to handle, your instinct is to make this, I wanna have my kid have fun, but maybe not baseball, maybe soccer, because that's gonna be easier for you and you can still thrive. And you're not doing it in a way to like be evil, you're doing it out of love, and I felt that's a much more interesting struggle than just like people laughing at you, or like your dad just hates you, or whatever. I just feel like that's not as complex, but I think having that same like back and forth tension, but it's not because someone's trying to hold you down, they're actually trying to lift you up, they just don't know how to do it in the right way. I think that's something that can happen any kind of field where you want to accept someone for who they are, or you want to push them to something, but you don't really know how, you don't know the words, you don't know the actions, but you kind of have that growth and learning, and they kind of end in a place where they can kind of forge a new relationship together. So
I have like that's what it had so much depth, because you had so much empathy for all of your characters, and that's what made it so touching as well. I'm gonna come, here we go.
Thank you.
You got this.
First off, I really love that message and how universally applicable it is. Even if there's no handicap involved, for a parent to want to shape their child's life, like the card said at the end, I really know is about the song. At which point in the production process was the song created, and how did it inform the way the rest of the film was created?
Yeah, we actually had a bit of a musical debacle. My EP had a friend that came along and he made the core melody for the song like really right away, and I loved it and I thought it was great, and I was like, okay, we need to make like the rest of the song for the movie. You can't just have the core melody. Unfortunately, he wasn't a composer, so he didn't know how to do that. He just knew how to make that melody, which was great, and I loved. And so I brought on my friend to kind of like put together the rest of the music, and I wanted to have something where the core melody would come back, but the meaning of it would change each time you saw it, and then it would be reflected even stronger when the kid plays it at the end. And I think we kind of worked well to use the music to be sort of a running motif to kind of follow the story. And so yeah, great composer, name's Alex Williams. I also used him for my first one, probably gonna use him for my next. He's great, so.
Thank you so much. Another question from the audience? Well, I have another question.
That's fine.
Ace Animation Studios.
Yes.
There's another film doing the festival circuit right now, Blueberry.
Yeah, it's not on the festival circuit right now,
Okay.
but that was my first film. We screened it at Roxbury 2 years ago, I believe. It's available on YouTube if you want to find it.
Will you tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, it's about a really determined boy whose blueberry comes to life during snack time, and then they kind of get into a face-off because he wants to eat the blueberry, and the blueberry obviously wants to live. And he's kind of a playful jokester. And it's a story of like friendship and empathy, and yeah, I mean, I'm biased, but it's a really great movie, so you should watch it.
Like Vegetarian's Nightmare.
So,
Can't eat a blueberry?
Yeah. So it's like kind of encouraging kids to eat vegetables.
Oh, I don't know. No, it sounds beautiful. Okay, so then what's your next project? Is that the most annoying question?
No,
good,
it's
good.
fine. I'm working on an animated feature now. We just started development 3 weeks ago, so very new. Hired a character designer yesterday.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm really excited about it. If all goes well, it'll be done in 4 years. Sorry guys, takes a long time.
Yeah, no, that sounds right. That sounds right. I'm excited to see. You'll bring it here to
Yeah, I would love that.
Yes. If there's no other questions, then I think we'll close here, right? Thank you so much. Thank you everyone for being here. Thank you to all the filmmakers. Thank you to Stephanie Glover for this beautiful film. And like you said, they can check out Blueberry on YouTube.
You can check it out on YouTube.
Yes, and then
we're on Instagram, ace_animation_studios, and you'll be able to find our stuff there. So.
Amazing, amazing. Thank you so much again.